viewers, and welcome to a new segment of my channel, Goodwill Hunting. This will be based on basically things I find in charity shops here in England. I'm not expecting there to be many videos, as what I find in charity shops these days is far and few between. I think people now in charity shops that work in them are a bit more savvy with things and know the value of and what things may be worth, so they tend to end up on auction sites. I especially see that with some of the larger charity shops. But saying that, here in England most of the charity shops are very small. They are just small nooks and on the high street, and there's not a lot in them half the time. It's nothing like America. If you watch LGR, you follow Clint Basinger on LGR, he does his thrift series on his charity shop finds, and even he's saying it's starting to find it a bit harder finding things these days. But if you haven't seen his channel, it's definitely worth a look. He's very entertaining. So I'm going to show some stuff I bought this week. I was quite lucky actually. I found some real gems. So I'll start off with the first item. Nothing particularly fantastic, just an old retro cassette case for storing your music tapes. But I shall be using this for storing my Commodore 64 and ZX Spectrum games. These are getting quite hard to get hold of now actually. This has got a few cracks on it, but apart from that, it's okay. You get quite a few tapes in there. And it was only 99p, so I didn't think that was too bad. Here we go, a nice little set of PC speakers. Genius SPS 110. Only $2.99. These are mains powered, so they have their own built-in amplifier. 100 watts PMPO, so that's going to be very low output, because obviously RMS is the better way of, obviously, or the correct way of measuring outputs to get a true output. Let's have a quick look at them, shall we? You can never have too many PC speakers, and these ones are black, so for any later computers, they'll suit them quite well. There we go. Got a headphone socket there, volume. In very good condition. No batteries on these, so it's mains only. They're not that old actually, I bet they're only about 10 years old. Oh yes, that's those. Over there. And then I've got this. The Hyper Pen 6000 from ApeTech, is it AIP Tech? Again, only $3.99 for Windows XP. It's a little tablet basically that you can draw on and do writing. Hopefully it's actually in there. Internet cordless mouse free, bundled with HyperPen. Didn't see that. Notice it on the box. I'm hoping it's actually in there because it was all sealed. I didn't bother checking it. So let's have a quick look now. Sometimes when you buy things in charity shops, again, the people aren't always as savvy as they are with the more valuable items when it comes to stuff like this, and they end up either not putting everything back in the box, or they don't realise that something's missing. Got there. Wow, I don't think this has been used. This could be new. Oh, and the mouse is in there. Wow, that's only a little cheap thing. One AAA battery, so that'll probably last about half an hour. The early mice. In fact, hang on a second. Oh no, that's the mouse for the actual tablet. It sits on the tablet, so it's not an optical mouse. There's the pen. And it's not been used. I'm hoping there's a software disk in here somewhere. And that's the actual tablet part itself. So we've got a standard keyboard, and it's got the old keyboard connector on there as well. It's interesting. Let's see if the disc is in there. And it's not. Mind you, with it being Windows XP, you may not need it. Let's see if it mentions it in the instructions. No, nothing in there about a disc. Oh, by inserting the auto-run installation CD, it does mention it. So the disc is missing, so there we go. But I think Windows will probably find that. I'll have to do a separate video on that sometime. More interesting ones. Some Lego. I couldn't believe it when I saw these in the shop. I actually saw that in the window first. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, wow, that is unbelievable. I think it had $5.99 on it or $6.99. There was stickers all over it. I'll show you some pictures. I'll have those separate. I took photos first before I took the stickers off. I just wanted to get them off as quickly as possible before they started stinking into the box. That one there didn't come off very well. I think it had been on there longer. But unfortunately, I've already opened these up, what I'm about to show you, and there's not an awful lot in there to do with the set. Let's have a quick look inside. Something about these old boxes. Just love them with a flap on there where you can see the contents. Be careful with it. Unfortunately, there's no figures in here whatsoever. Got the original instruction manual though, which is nice, and one there to another set, 6035. But all that's in here basically is some space Lego and a little bit of castle. Still nice to have though. I bet I probably got all the bits to make that in my spares anyway, because the three main windows are there. They're the harder parts to find. The rest of the bricks are pretty much generic. I think I did see the ladder actually in one of the other boxes. We'll look in a second. I think I spotted one wheel as well. But yes, that was, I think it was $5.99. I couldn't believe it. Saying that if you look on eBay, the boxes alone and the instruction manuals are worth a small fortune. I think the last time I looked, the most expensive one on there was £95 just for the box and the instruction manual, which I think is absolutely lunacy. Absolute lunacy, really. There's a Technic set, 8640. Again, this hasn't got what should be in the box. The manual was in there. This box has not fared so well. It's got the original instruction manual, and again, I think I probably got most of the Lego. I definitely got the guy. In fact, I've got one over here. I also have him sat on my Amiga 2000. Obviously, there's a different outfit on there, but I've got some more somewhere. I shall have to have a look in the loft. Get it all down. Again, that's got mostly white pieces in there, wheel, battery box, which will be for another set I'm about to show you. Some nice bits in there though. I think that one had $6.99 on it. Again, I'll be flashing photos up now of what it looked like before with all the stickers on. Picture on the back there of the alternative models that you can make. They never gave you the instructions for that though, you just had to have a look at the picture and figure it out yourself. Lego stopped doing that actually a while ago. Got too many complaints from parents apparently asking why there was no instructions for the alternative models on the back. Classic Lego board there from the 1980s. Again, that was only 99p. For that price I just couldn't let it go really. I've got quite a number of these. Again, they're in the loft. It's got a little bit of a scuff there, but for 99p I thought it was a bargain. And now this box here, this is one I spotted in the shop after picking that one out the window. I saw that and I thought, wow, I wonder if it's in there. Bear in mind that these were all taped up. I couldn't see what was in them, apart from this one, because this is another flat box. And I opened it up and I thought, oh, well, there's no Lego in there. Well, there are a few pieces. And then I spotted something. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I spotted that grey thing there and those two black parts there. And I immediately recognised that grey piece as the chin cover for an AT-AT, the original AT-AT from 1980. And I thought, wow, I'm definitely getting it just for that. I think this had $6.99 on it. Again, I'll flash the image up, the original price I've forgotten already. And then I saw the X-Wing guns. I'm thinking, wow, I wonder what else in there. I didn't even look. I just quickly closed it, went straight to the counter and paid for it all. Got it home, then I opened it up, and then that's where things get even better. So let me spill this all out now and show you what else is in here. Without trying to lose it all over the floor. Basically what they've done here, they've just filled up this empty box with random bits of plastic that are left over. All those little things that normally parents would hoover up, or they get chewed up or thrown away. That's the brown ladder there. We'll go to that set there. But yes, I couldn't believe what else is in here. So that's the Atat chin piece I mentioned before. That's an original piece from 1980s, I can just tell it is. It's not a remake or anything. There are people selling reproductions of that on eBay. But these genuine ones can go for anything between £20 and £30 on eBay, which is just unbelievable really. So that was the first thing I spotted. And then of course it was the X-Wing guns from the original X-Wing. Obviously the X-Wing has 4 of these altogether. But I just spotted those 2 in there. And then I started finding these. Let's try and get a close up. Spotted a real, genuine Star Wars vintage weapon. I thought, wow, that's amazing. And the more I searched, the more I found. So I'll go through now and try and find it all again. I just put it all back in the box. Here we go, there's another one. I'm not sure which figure these belong to. I'll do a close-up at the end of them all. But I think there was 4 or 5 in here altogether. And as you know, the genuine weapons, if you collect the vintage Star Wars toys, can go for a small fortune. That's an accessory from the little Hoth set. I forget what it's called now. It's one of those little rigs. Oh, that was it. Yoda's belt. Also found that, which I couldn't believe. Again, they sell for about £10 on their own on eBay. The weapons, incidentally, are around about between 10 and 20, even more pounds on eBay, which just seems to be quite expensive. But when you think about how much of this stuff just gets thrown away and lost pretty much instantly as soon as it's opened, they're quite rare and hard to find. Oh, there we go. That was the last thing I found. That's about part of the harpoon attachment for the snowspeeder. I couldn't believe I saw that. Unfortunately, the harpoon itself is not amongst all of this, although I didn't spot it at the time. There's all sorts of random pieces in it. There's some Zoid pieces as well. You put a used cap gun there. It's just an absolute free-for-all. There's just everything in here. Another weapon there. I think that's a Stormtrooper blaster. I've had a look on YouTube, trying to identify whether they're genuine or not. I still need to have a better look, but I can't see why these would be reproductions. Looking at everything else that's in here, because there's some old Playmobil pieces as well. It's just everything that's in here is 70s and 80s basically. Another Zoid piece. I think that's off the large Zoidzilla. That piece there, one of the fins on the back. Everything points to it being genuine weapons, because why would anybody add fake weapons or reproduction weapons in amongst old toys? But you don't know, do you? So I do need to have a good look at those. One of the other complete random things that I found was a gun casing, a bullet casing. Well, it is empty. I was thinking, how on earth has that ended up in with some kids' toys? It's copper because it's gone all green. It looks like probably a 9mm. So that was pretty random. Oh, there's another weapon there. There's 2 of those the same actually. I think there's one more in here somewhere. Well, that was it. The Millennium Falcon Jedi Training Ball. That was in there. Unfortunately the arm is not. That's missing. As I say, I'll do a close-up in a bit at the end of all the different parts that I found. Lots of fluff. Random things. There's a screw in here somewhere that I spotted. I think these things here are from a Playmobil set. If anybody recognises them, let me know in the comments what they belong to. They fold out. That's definitely Playmobil. Some of those heavy weights there for the old vintage Lego boats from the 70s. Quite a few castle pieces in here as well actually from that castle set. Lots of those Zoid tabs. Lots of stop signs. Classic vintage Lego 80s parking road signs. Another Playmobil. Like I said, I'll add a photo next and I'll separate all this into categories of what I've actually found. If anybody recognises any of the parts of what they may be from, for any of the Playmobil parts or the police signs, let me know in the comments. And the last thing that I bought which I nearly forgot about, was some little Matchbox cars, some vintage ones from the 1970s and I think early 80s. So let's have a quick look at those, shall we? See what we've got in here. Got there's the Corgi Juniors there. Looks like it's a Fiat X1. I think the engine compartment opens up. It looks like it does. I won't force it. That's a nice little car. It's like a little Jaguar. Another Corgi Junior XJS. I prefer the Matchbox actually. I'm more into those. I like the way they put the dates underneath and the model number and everything. 1981, that one. Ferrari, apparently. Got the logo on there. Special Motor Show 82 edition on that one. Another Corgi Juniors. Bonnet opens up on that one. Another Matchbox. Dodge Daytona 1984. Lots of memories here for these. Triumph TR7. Says British Airways on the sticker there. I'll just go through these quickly. Hot Wheels Front Running Fairmont 1981. These were $1.50 a bag, by the way. These were, which I didn't think was too bad at all, really. You can get them off of eBay by the time you pay postage. There's another Matchbox there. I can't quite make out what that one says, but it's an older one looking at it. Number 68. Can't quite make out the year. Some sellotape on the bottom there. There's a lot of people who do restoration videos on these little Matchbox cars, actually, and others on YouTube. Very interesting to watch. It's amazing what they can do with them. Matchbox Superfast 1978, that one. Datsun 260. Another Superfast. Challenger, Dodge Challenger, that one. 1975. It's amazing that these things have managed to survive all these years. That looks like an old unbranded one. Kidco, made in Hong Kong. So that would have been probably like a cheaper version of a Matchbox at the time. Last bag we've got here, looks like a British car. Yeah, Ford Cortina 1979. I don't think I've seen that one before actually. Doors open on that one as well. Is that a Ford Sierra? It is. 1983. I remember when they came out as a kid. It was one of the first cars actually that have quite smooth lines. Because back in that time period, cars were very boxy looking in England. Looks like a Mercedes, yeah. I think that's a taxi, yes it is a taxi. It's got a taxi logo on the top. That one is 1979. Another Superfast. Another Dodge Challenger, that one. Another Dodge Challenger, 1975. And the last one, a Ford Escort RS 2000, 1978. Wow, just about see a logo on the side there, number 9. Can't quite read the writing. That would have been a rally car. Oh, Shell. Shell's got the Shell logo on the top there. And that's the last one. Well, there you have it. What an absolutely amazing haul. As I said at the beginning of the video, chance of finding anything like this in a charity shop these days, certainly where I live, is highly unlikely. Most of this kind of stuff ends up on eBay. I'm still absolutely amazed at all these Star Wars bits I found. One absolute find. Obviously I saw that AT-AT chin piece first in the box, not even knowing what else was in the box. I only bought it for that. Because like I said before, those on their own can go for quite a bit of money on eBay. There's even people 3D printing these parts now because they're that hard to find. It makes you wonder just how much of this stuff would normally just get thrown away when charity shops get hold of it, not realising what it is. Kind of makes you cringe really, doesn't it? Especially when you look at how much some of these small Star Wars accessories sell for on eBay. I've seen some of these blasters go for like £30 or more. when they're genuine. I need to do some research, as I said before, as well, to see if these are genuine or not. They look it, but obviously you can't tell these days. The Corgi cars there and the Matchbox cars were a nice find, only $1.50 a bag. That was a good find as well. Got the instruction manual. Again, I think I've got pretty much most of the Lego upstairs somewhere, along with the Technics set there. No CD-ROM in the tablet there, but I'm sure I can sort something out with that. Well, I think that just about sums up today's video. If you enjoy this kind of thing, you may want to subscribe to my channel, incidentally, because I'm usually buying something on eBay. I say it's very rare I get anything in the charity shop, so this is the first episode for Goodwill Hunting. Hopefully there will be more. Well, I think that just about wraps up today's video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you.